Lesson 22, an introduction to Greek letters. What you will learn here, what are the Greeks, pros and cons of the Greeks. The Greeks are precisely the Greek letters delta, gamma, theta, rho, and Vega, which in fact is not a Greek letter, but it doesn't matter, which are used to identify the first partial derivatives of the option price curve. One speaks of partial derivatives because they express the mathematical evaluation of the variation of the price of an option in front of a variation in one only of the key parameters, while all the others remain still. Delta, theta, rho, and Vega are first partial derivatives. Gamma is a partial second derivative as derived from delta, so it's the derivative of a derivative. The Greeks serve to understand in principle how the prices of the options move as market parameters change. They are fundamentally theoretical constructs, however, by virtue of at least three considerations. First, hardly one of the parameters moves without acting on the others. Think of the volatility, for example. Although implicit, that is an expectation, it does not move significantly without a market reason. Moreover, as we have now seen the volatility skew, we know very well, as the underlying changes, the implied volatility of all options inevitably varies. Time is perhaps a variable independent of the others in the sense that its passage is not affected by other variables, but the opposite does not apply. The implied volatility is closely linked to time because the more it thins, the less the probability of all events external to the current situation. Moreover, the interest rate cannot change without having an impact on the prices of listed financial instruments. 2. The correct valuation of each Greek requires the study of how the price of an option changes when one of the key variables moves to an infinitesimal extent. But it is not the very small displacements that can worry a trader, but the marked ones, on which the calculation of a derivative becomes ineffective, because at that point the interaction between all the market variables becomes obvious. 3. On the Greek, in particular on the delta, we pretend to build so-called neutral strategies. In such cases, the idea would be that the strategy was insensitive to changes in the underlying, because the delta is zero. Well, the delta equal to zero is a condition that only applies for a moment, but as soon as the price moves, the volatility changes with him, and the time passes, the delta obviously changes, and therefore the position must be rebalanced. As we will see when we talk about delta hedging, this rebalancing of positions, to be perfect, must be continuous. It is not defining a strategy that requires continuous rebalancing neutral, then perhaps a great contradiction in terms. Neutrality is often confused with non-directionality, a very different concept. Non-directional strategies benefit from the continuous oscillating of the underlying within defined price ranges, but in those fluctuations the portfolio delta can also deviate significantly from zero. I personally think that the Greeks are very complex and that their effective use really requires a great deal of experience. And by the way, it's not the basic Greeks that matter, as you will probably see in some advanced course on some advanced strategy. You will see that the combination of different Greeks can be of concrete use in the field of complicated option strategies. When you use, for instance, the combined effect of time and volatility on the price, it's three-dimensional Greeks that really matter in the field of option strategies. And in any case, options are affected by Greeks only during their lifetime. If you aim to use option strategies that lead you to wait till the maturity, you do not have to care about the Greek letters. So far that's all. In the next lessons, we will go into some much more details about each and single Greek letter. Thank you for your attention.